that we cling to will keep our soul from being holy. You know, you do have, like, once I spoke up in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and it was 2,000 high school kids, and that's been my main throughout the years is speaking to high school kids, so it's an easy transition to go to speak to men. But anyway, so as I was sitting there speaking with these high school kids, you know, there was 2,000 kids. I was the first speaker. It was a Friday night. It was a high school youth conference where Father Mike does all that stuff now because they threw me out. But anyway, as I was dealing with them at the youth conference, I'm the first speaker. The 6 bishops behind me, and I get up and I start my homily, and I say, kids, you have 2 choices. You become a saint or you go to hell. Well, they showed me the video of what was going on behind me on the 6 bishops' faces. They all looked like they were constipated, like, like you can't believe you just said that to these 2,000 kids. Now, we pulled it out, but you think I got everybody's attention? Yep, for the rest of their lives. That was the point. Do you think that's what I meant? Absolutely. Everyone who goes to heaven is a saint. So is that your goal, to be a saint? Because it says in Hebrews 12, if you read the Word of God, it says, strive for that holiness without which you will not see the Lord. It doesn't say good people go to heaven. It says holy people go to heaven. So are you striving for holiness? Now again, if I ask you if you were a good person, everybody here would say, oh yes, Father, I'm a good person. I'm in a men's conference on a Saturday morning. Come on, I'm a really good person. And I'd say, okay, are you a holy person? Oh, I wouldn't say I'm holy. What? You know, today when we have Mass, you'll have Mass, I'll be on a plane somewhere, and when the bishop goes and he holds up the chalice, is the chalice holy? Yes, it's consecrated. It means, holiness means set apart for God. This chalice that he'll hold up is consecrated. It's a holy chalice. If I was to take that chalice and drink Pepsi out of it, it would be what? A sacrilege, right? Gentlemen, you are much more holy than a piece of metal. Let me give you a hint. You are the place where God dwells. The day you and I got baptized, we became the dwelling place of God. You know, and I taught all boys for 8 years at a Catholic high school. We had anywhere from 650 to 700 boys. One year we had 666 boys. 666, the sign of the Antichrist. Ugh. So he threw one out the first week to get rid of that number. But anyway, in dealing with those boys, I'd always sit there and say, gentlemen, our cathedral, it's Cathedral Preparatory School for boys. Our cathedral's the chapel to the boys' school. We're connected. And I would sit there and say in theology class, if I was teaching or doing one of my high school retreats, I'd say, you'd never bring your girlfriend down and have sex with her in front of the tabernacle, would you? That's disgusting, Father. I can't even believe you'd bring it up. Every once in a while, you'd have one guy there who'd have a twinkle in his eye like, But anyway, I'd say, you'd never do that. Why? Because that would be the height of a sacrilege. But gentlemen, then you better not do it anywhere else, because why? Where is Jesus? In you. He's not everywhere. Yes, he's everywhere, but you are the tabernacle of God. St. Paul says you are the temple of the living God. St. Paul in his word says, that is why if you have sex with a prostitute, gentlemen, who do you make have sex with a prostitute? Jesus Christ. Because you are the place where God dwells. Huh? If we start living that, instead of just talking about it, or yeah, I get it up here. If you start living it, no matter where you are in the presence of Jesus Christ. You bring the presence of Jesus Christ. You are the presence of Christ. You are the tabernacle of God. You're not Christ, but he lives inside of you. And you and I start living that, because Catholics are great ones. They're really holy in church. I love you, Jesus. Fall on your knees. I love you. Every day. Then they get in the car right after, and I can't. You shut up. You get in the house. Blah, blah, blah. They kill each other in the parking lot. Oh, I love Jesus. Bull crap. You better be the way you are no matter where you are. That's man of integrity. You are the way you are always as you would standing in front of the Blessed Sacrament. That's a man of integrity. You are the way you are when you're with your family, when you're friends, when you're at the bar. You are the way you are in church. That's a man of integrity. That's a man of holiness. That's the man Jesus commands you to be. This is not an option. You become that man or you go to hell. That is what he wants of you. And again, gentlemen, I consider myself a spiritual coach, right? You want to be a good football player, good basketball player, like the big fight me in my high school every year. We are state champions in every sport there was. Right? It's very manly to be a sportsman. I'm a sports person. I work out every day. Look at my ripples in my stomach. Oh, I got a six-pack. Oh, I got a case. I don't care about your six-pack. But anyway, and you work out. Now you do realize your ripples are going to become worm meat one day when you're dead. A muncha, muncha, muncha. And I have been at a lot of funerals. I've never seen anybody ever here. When the guy's laying in the casket, did you ever see the ripples in that guy's stomach? Ha! Nobody cares. Worm meat, or you're going to be cremated. Anyway, you're going to become nothingness. And we do all this to keep ourselves fit, to be energy. So like every year I'd sit there and say to the kids, gentlemen, what are you going to do this year? And they'd say, we're going to be state champions, Father. Whoa. What are you going to do to be state champions? You know what they'd do? They would work out 4 hours every day. Throwing the football, kicking the soccer ball. We had a hockey team. The hockey team was state champions. The swimmers would get the pool at 4:30 in the morning just so they could become state champions. We beat Central Bucks West one year about 15 years ago. Central Bucks West team, which was in Hershey, Pennsylvania, never had lost the game until they met my boys. We beat them in overtime. These kids were like the bomb. Hey, I'm state champion. 10 of them got full scholarships into college. 10. Huh? They're already has-beens, correct? When they sit there and they're my age, they're going to tell their sons, when I was your age, son, I was a state champion football player. And their kids are going to look at them and say, oh, shut up, Dad. You're just fat and bald now. Nobody cares. And yet, we put all our time and energy into that. Now, if I was to say the same thing to those kids, gentlemen, what are you going to do? We're going to be state champions. I'd say, what are you going to do to be a state champion? If it'd say, well, we're going to go to practice when we feel like it for 45 minutes to an hour a week, depending on who the coach is, and we're going to have good thoughts about the game. It'd say, you're going to suck, gentlemen. That's all there is to it. You're going to be the worst of the worst. Huh? And yet, I'd ask those same kids every year, gentlemen, you want to go to heaven? Yes, Father! What are you doing to prove to me you want to go to heaven? Can you imagine what they said? You're not going to believe this. But this is what they'd say to me. Well, we'll go to church when we feel like it, and it's not a good day and I can't go golfing. We're going to go to church every week for 45 minutes to an hour, depending on who the priest is. Father Mike, an hour and a half, depending who the priest is. And then we're going to try to be good people. Wrong answer, gentlemen. Huh? So you're telling me God is Barney, right? I love you. You love me. This big dinosaur in the sky says, hey, I love you just the way you are. Just try to be a good person and go to mass every once in a while. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. Just try, could you? Really? That's a lie.